Hi everyone, in this video I am going to explain frequently asked Java 8 interview questions and what are the updates came in Java 8 release. So in this video I am going to cover completely whatever I have showing here like functional programming, Lambda expressions, stream API, optional class, functional interface. So not only theory, I will explain with real-time example. So parallel processing, how to use compatible feature, HashMap internal working, how it changing from Java 8, date and time APIs, and some frequently asked interview questions. So without wasting the time, let's start. So what are the major updates are introduced in Java 8? So Java 8 is one of the biggest release in Java history because it is introduced functional programming concept into Java. So before Java 8, if you are solving any task, it is taking 10 lines of code means from Java 8 you can solve same problem within 5 lines or less than that. So collection processing was complex. Let's say if you are doing any filtration on collections, you have to declare explicitly some variable store the filter data. But from Java 8 onwards, you can use filter methods, stream methods. So parallel processing was difficult before Java 8, that was solved in using parallel streams as well. So before Java 8, if you want to handle any null pointer exception, there is no classes like optional to handle these kind of null checks. From Java 8, those came. So these are the major updates. Java's these are the major issues Java 8 solved. So let's see. We saw what are the updates came from Java 8, right? So now we'll see which update what problem solve. Let's say Lambda expressions came. Lambda expressions are reduced the boilerplate code, functional interface. So supports functional programming. Whenever you are writing any Lambda expressions, by the time we will use only the functional interfaces. Stream API. So Stream API used to solve the processing the collections efficiently. And method reference cleaner Lambda expressions. So the major use of method reference, you will use those method reference in stream methods. I will show you with real-time example in upcoming slides. Optional class. We know optional is primarily only for the handling null checks. Default methods and default methods are for backward compatibility. I will show with one example as well. Next one, static methods in interface. So these are for utility methods inside the interfaces. So compatible feature, if you are running any task in background, so you can use compatible feature also. So new date and time API, better handling. Let's say before, if you are solving any date and time task, it is lengthy code, but from Java 8, it will take, the API is providing so many internal methods. So parallel streams for multi-thread processing. So narrow engine for executing the JavaScript code in Java JVM. So what is the functional programming? Functional programming is a programming paradigm that is focused on using functions to solve the problems, enhancing what to do rather than how to do. So if you are filtering any data, you just use filter method. You don't need to think about the other variables and declarations. So that's what it is telling how to do it. So main concepts, functions can be passed as arguments and functions can return functions as well. So focus on what to do instead of how to do, as I told before. So Java 8 introduced Lambda expressions, streams and functional interfaces. I'll show everything with real-time example. So the next question is, what is Lambda expression in Java 8? A Lambda expression is an anonymous function introduced in Java 8. It allows us to write functional style coding with less boilerplate code. So what is anonymous means it doesn't have any name. That is called anonymous function. So how you can use, let me explain. So here is an interface. So if you want to implement this greeting interface, you have to create some additional class to implement this greeting interface. Then only you can use this say hello method from this interface. But if you see here, I implemented this interface using Lambda expression. So it's solved within single line, the implementation. That is the power of Lambda expressions. So key points, no method names, no return type declared, declaration needed, improve readability, mainly used with functional interfaces. So if this interface has more than one abstract method, function that is not a functional interface, so the time Lambda expressions will not work. That you have to remember. What is functional interface? It is too simple. A functional interface is an interface that contains only one abstract method. So here is the example for functional interface. Here I declared a calculator interface. It has only one add method. So on top of that interface, I declared at the rate of functional interface annotation. So why it is important? Lambda expressions work only with functional interfaces. So in JDK, we have some functional interfaces. These are the one is runnable, one is callable. These are to create the threads. Comparator that is used to sort the data. One is predicate. It is used in filter method. It will return boolean type. Consumer and supplier. So these are primarily used in stream methods. So next question, what is different between anonymous class and Lambda expression? It's too simple. So first one is example for anonymous class. So here runnable is an functional interface we know. But here I am implementing this runnable interface using anonymous class implementation. So here I not declared any class to implement this interface. This is a style of anonymous implementation. So here is an Lambda expression. Lambda expressions are anonymous functions. So the difference is anonymous class more boilerplate code. When it comes to Lambda expression, less boilerplate code. So has its own this reference uses enclosing class this. So okay, verbose syntax and a compact syntax. So the high level rule overview is too simple. If you are using anonymous class implementation, it will take more code. If you use Lambda expression, it is completed within single line. If you see here. So what is Stream API? This is very important question for interview perspective. So Stream API is introduced in Java 8 for processing collections efficiently using functional programming concepts. So the primarily the use of Stream API, let me tell you what it is. So if you have a collections, if you want to apply some processing on the collections like filtration, converting data, there might be some other, you have to use the streams. So the features of Stream API is declarative programming and internal iteration and parallel processing and cleaner code. So let's jump into next question. So what is the method reference in Java 8? Method reference is a shortened syntax for Lambda expressions. Here is in three types of method references was there. One is static method reference, one is instance method reference, and one is constructor reference. The interview will definitely ask what are the types as well. So here is the code snippet for each one. First one is static reference. So we know static, if you are calling static methods, you can directly use with class name. So here I am calling println method from output stream class. Second one, instance method reference. So here is an instance variable for string class str. So I am calling two uppercase method using instance method reference. One is constructor method reference. So here I'm creating object for array list. So the next one, the difference between collections and stream. So first, let me tell you, collections are used to store the data. Streams are process the collections data. That is the main answer you have to tell in interview. So collections are used to store data, process the collections data here. So external iteration and internal iteration can be reused, cannot be reused. So one more thing I want to tell you guys, streams are lazy. Until you call terminal methods, the intermediate methods will not work. And the next one, what are intermediate and terminal operations? So intermediate operations, these are will return the streams. The terminal operations there produces the final result. So if you call filter method, it will return again streams. So unless if you are not using collect method, the filtration will not work. That's what I told before. So these are the intermediate operations: filter, map, sorted, distinct. So the terminal operations are collect, count, for each, and reduce. Explain what is difference between map and flatMap. So map transfer one object into another object. So flatMap flattens the nested collections. So here is an example. So if you have a nested collections, if you want to merge into single unit of collection, you have to use flatMap. If you are working, let's say you have an employees list, you want to get all the names, then you can go through map. What is optional class? Optional is a container used to avoid null pointer exceptions. So this is a class from JDK. It is providing so many static methods. Those are used to handle the null checks. Here is an important methods: is present, get, or else, and or else get. So here is an example use case of optional. So if you have a data, if you want to convert the data into optional type, you have to use optional.off method. So get is used to get the data from optional. So it will handle null checks. If value is there, it will return. If value was not there, it will return null. The use of get. So go to next one. What is the difference between or else and or else get? So or else always it will execute, or else get execute only if value is absent. So it can be reused performance and better optimized. So the next one, what is predicate? Predicate is a functional interface. So if you use for each method from streams, you can see it will take predicate as the parameter. So the next one, what is consumer interface? Consumer is a functional interface. It will accept input but returns nothing. Means it won't return anything. So what is supplier interface? Supplier also functional interface. So supplier supplies values without taking any input. So what is function interface? So function also is called a functional interface. It has an identity method. Whatever you will pass, it will return the same. Whatever input you will pass, it will return same output. The use of identity method. So the what is the use of reduce method in Java 8? Reduce method combines all stream elements into single unit. If you see here, I declared a collections with some elements and I am doing sum here. So what it did, it combines all stream elements into single unit. Here the single unit is this sum. Let's jump into the next question. So this is very frequently asked question. What is parallel stream? Parallel stream process data using multiple threads. Let's say you have a collection and you are doing some filtration on that. So the order can be anything. So by the time you can use parallel stream if you want to perform any task in faster way, you can go through parallel streams. All the times parallel streams are not good because the taking elements might be changed the order. So if you want to use parallel stream, you have to use the parallel stream method from stream. So the advantages are faster processing and better CPU utilization. So what is difference between findFirst and findAny? So findFirst, it will return first element which it match the condition. So the findAny, it will return any element from the collection. So it is deterministic. It is not deterministic. Means what it will return you don't know. But from findFirst you can predict what it will return. What are default methods in interface? So Java 8 allows methods implemented inside interfaces using default method. So the default method has some implementation. If you want to override, still you can do it from your core implementation classes. So why they are introduced means, let's say the JDK is providing some default implementation from interface, but if you want, let's say the interface here, the vehicle interface has initially one abstract method, some other core classes got implemented. If I'm adding any abstract method for this interface, the core classes must and should implement this abstract method, newly added one. So that's why they introduced these default methods. I hope you understood. If you know more than this, please let me know in the comments. What are static methods in interface? So the static methods, let's say these are in Java 8 onwards, they added static methods in interface. One example is list of method. We know list is an interface. So it has only abstract methods before Java 8. So from Java 8, they added a factory method called of. Let's say if you have some elements, if you want to convert into list type, you can use list of method. So this is not introduced in Java 8, sorry guys. So list of is static factory method used to create an immutable collection. What is CompletableFuture in Java 8? So it is used to for asynchronous programming. Let me tell you what is asynchronous programming. Let's say if you do sign up for any application like Swiggy or Zomato, you will receive a successful registration email after some time of registration, it might be. So by the time what they'll do in backend, they'll use CompletableFuture run async task. Inside this task they will send a email notification. So it and the different thread will pick this task and it will execute. So the main concept is the primary thread will complete and it will go, but this task will run it in background. So HashMap internal working in Java 8. So from Java 8 they did some changes in HashMap internal working as well. So Java 8 improved HashMap performance using red black tree. So before Java 8, collision handling using linked list. From in Java 8, bucket converted into red black tree if entries exceeded 8. Let's say at bucket index 0, there the linked list size, if it is exceeded 8, then the linked list will converted into red black tree. So whenever you are looking for any element, the reads are too fast as compared to before. So the complexity improved from order of n to order of log n. Internal steps, whenever it is converting from linked list to red black tree, the entire hash map will do rehashing, and find the buckets, and it will insert elements in according to the those are hash map using hash code again. What is difference between hash map and concurrent hash map? Straightforward is hash map is not thread safe, concurrent hash map is thread safe. So it is allows null keys, it won't allow null keys because it is thread safe. Thread safe means there is too simple, multiple threads at a time can call this concurrent hash map. If you do it for hash map, it will throw concurrent modification exception. So whenever you are doing any iteration on concurrent hash map, so it will work on snapshot of that hash map. It won't directly work on that real references. So it is much faster and it is slightly slow. So the next important thing is explain date and time API in Java 8. So important classes they introduced in related to Java date and time API, local date and local time, and local date and time. Sometimes what we will do, we will, if you are running any batches, Spring batches, you will use these local date and time APIs for finding the dates and running the procedures. Advantages, these are immutable, thread safe, and better API design. So we came to last of this video. We will see what is a default garbage collector in Java 8. So the default garbage collector in Java 8 is parallel garbage collector. So Java 8 uses parallel GC as the default garbage collector. So the purpose is designed for high throughputs and faster application performance and multi-thread garbage collection. Too simple, what is doing parallel means? So whenever the Java is clearing the unused objects, that can be done it in by parallelly. Means two threads can perform GC operations in background. Whenever any GC operations are happening in your application, it will happen, the application pause will happen, that we will not see, but it's a fraction of seconds. So that's why they introduced parallel GC. High throughput means if your application having more objects, so the GC has to work more, right? So that's why they introduced a parallel GC. So if you like this content, do like and subscribe to our channel, and let me know in comments if you have any questions. Thank you guys for watching this.